We are currently in Shenandoah National Park. We are currently hiking the River Rose Trail. It leads us all the way to a waterfall. And this is one of the very few national parks where you are allowed to have a dog on the trails. So of course we brought Ziggy. It's been a while since we visited a brand new national park. I can't tell you how refreshing it is. What do you think?
Very refreshing.
Ziggy's gonna do 3.8 miles of a hike, round trip. Something light and easy.
Get out and enjoy nature while you can.
Even just driving along the national park, it was beautiful. There's so much greenery here. All the tall trees and the different plants.
What have we found here, you guys? Uh-oh, Ziggy and Aaron found a little creek to swim in, a little pool. Oh, Ziggy's loving life. Careful, those rocks get slippery.
I'm literally purple. Now we're sitting in front of the air. Sorry about the sound, but this feels amazing right now. I thought that hike was a 3.8 miles long round trip. Turns out it was 5.5. So Zaya had this little app saying, oh, you have this many more miles to go, or this much more. I can't even talk. His thing kept telling us how much we've already hiked and then how much we had left. But when it got to 3.8, I was like, where's the road? We were still way down there. And I didn't hear any cars because you have to cross the street to get back to your vehicle. Something light and easy. Ziggy even had to take many breaks. He was dragging behind. Whew. He kept wanting to stop for water. And I wanted to do another hike. The thing about this hike was it was to a waterfall. Obviously water travels downhill, so you have to go downhill to see all the waterfalls, and you have to travel back uphill to return to your car. We were tired. It is a beautiful day out though. I kind of want to drive through the park, but that's 4.5 hours, I heard. That's what they said. It's not like Joshua Tree where it's an hour loop, which I'm not surprised. Every national park is different, but maybe we'll keep driving a little more and then come back this way so that we can see more of the scenery. It's beautiful here though, and we chose a beautiful, beautiful day. But we found some glasses on the trail, and Zaya wanted to leave them at the trailhead just in case somebody wanted to find them again, obviously. But remember, when you go to parks, national parks, to leave no trace, okay? Whatever you bring down, take it back with you. No trash. There are wild animals here, and they are protected. That is why it's a national park. Okay? Look at this boy. He's done. Google Maps told us that we're gonna be stuck in traffic for a whole hour. A whole hour. How are you feeling right now?
Irritated.
Irritated? Life is too good to be irritated.
Well, I got you guys here with me, so
been in the National Park Service? How old were you when you started?
15 to 24.
And how did you get into it?
All my sisters did YCC trail building, and then a couple of them went through with actual jobs for a second, and then I just stuck with it and went towards different routes, multiple routes with trail building and doing some wildland fire stuff and doing liaison, running prison camps, teaching people CCCs, AmeriCorps groups, WCCs, Sierra Club, Appalachian Trail Crew came out there before to the West Coast. All kinds of different AmeriCorps groups and other groups, LACCs, all kinds of groups that I've got to be a liaison for. Basically teach them how to do historical preservations type trail work of from rock masonry, of dry stack or wet lay, all the way to logging, to cutting fire lines, to teaching them how to operate machinery, and doing long line with helicopters, all kinds of stuff.
Which national parks have you worked at?
I started at Joshua Tree National Park, and then I went to Lassen Volcanic National Park, and then I went back to Joshua Tree National Park, and then I went to Channel Islands National Park. This dude almost wrecked into the back of us. And then I went to, from there, I went back to Joshua Tree, from there I went to Olympic National Park. Oh no, from Channel Islands I went to Santa Monica Mountains National Park, then back to Channel Islands National Park, and then I went to Olympic National Park. But in between Olympic National Park, Channel Islands, I did framing houses from ground to finish for a little bit.
Random.
A little break.
A little random.
Did a lot of stuff, and then I do maintenance mechanics for them as well, like construction mechanics. So you have trail crews, roads crews, and facilities, and I kind of have a mixture of all of them. In the winter time, I do facilities and mechanics on buildings and historic preservations with things, and then like backcountry, like historic ranger stations and stuff, and facilities that national parks have, old historic structures and stuff, rebuilt and refurbished to natural purpose that it was.
When you say you worked on trails, what do you mean by that? What did you do to the trails?
We do from trail maintenance of just clearing the trails, and then all the way to trail construction. So I've made trails from scratch. Like for instance, the 15th National Trail in the country, the Backbone Trail that goes through the Calabasas, Malibu, and all that, and the Santa Monica Mountains. Did that from scratch, a lot of that from scratch. And got to use prison inmates and teach them how to do actual, instead of cutting fire line what they're used to, I taught them how to do nice work that's going to be lasting forever and that nobody can take away from you. So cutting, when I build trail, I'm talking like you ever see like drainages, we put those in, we clear we hand use a hand saw, crosscut saw is what it's called, misery whip, you heard it called. Any fallen trees, depending if it's in the wilderness or not, or we use chainsaws. And then construction wise, like putting in suspension bridges, we've had helicopters with long lines bring in suspension bridges and lock them in and build turnpike out of fallen trees and turn it into pretty much like 8x8s, like pilings, but we use fallen trees and we hand carve them and hand drill them, everything. So like any wood staircases or like bridges that you see, we hand build most of all that stuff out there. And then staircases or rock walls. My main forte that I was like probably did a lot more of, if anything, is a lot of rock masonry. I was a dry stone rock mason and wet lay here and there, but I hand carve and drill big Volkswagen size rocks to trash can size rocks to any type of rocks, and create them into the shape that I want them. Or I take natural selection rocks and make staircases and rock walls out of them. So when you go into national parks and you see them rock walls and staircases, most of that stuff, and depending what park you're in, a lot of parks I've worked in, it was natural selection. It was just went and got some rocks using a grip hoist high line, which is I can get into that. It's basically like a big high line cable, like a big zip line. Imagine that going down a giant mountain, and we hand belay those down, and it's literally like, if you ever watched the Flintstones, that's exactly what rock masonry and trail crew is like. And it's like spot on.
Is it hard for just anybody to become a park ranger or in the national park in any way, shape, or form?
Yes and no. I mean, depends on what you define as what is hard, of how hard you want to work for it.
Can just anybody just...
Yeah, Pretty much anybody can. I mean, there's so many diverse jobs depending what you want to do. Technically, everybody is a ranger in the Park Service in all departments. If you're wearing green and gray, you're a ranger. But the thing is I usually work for maintenance department. We stopped calling them divisions. Divisions means divide. So anywho, the way I looked at things was that we are all one team. We're all rangers. I like to look at myself as a classic ranger, how I always was. And because I was always out there in the field. A lot of the time you get a lot of interpretive rangers, no offense or anything, but they're mainly at the visitor center. And they are backcountry rangers and stuff, and they do go out and do other programs, but they're at the visitor center giving you all your info for where you need to go. But I was that guy deep way out there that when you're gonna go out there, you're gonna run into me and I can be able to spit you some info, you know, show you how we do things, show you the cool history on how these rocks got here, how these stairs got here, how we do the work. Nobody really sees that, and I think that's a big thing that people need to see, that when you're going to a park and you're hiking on a trail, you don't even think that you got a little rock like yay big in the ground, but little you know that it was hand shaped and hand carved and hours were put into it. Sometimes a full day for one step, and, you know, when you're learning still, or just sometimes, yeah, a step just throws you off, or one rock on a tier wall just throws you off. But you know, depending where you're at, what kind of crew you're on, you know, the pace that they go, you know, you kind of adapt. But for anybody can join, anybody can do it. I highly advise people to try it out, do it, because I honestly can say someone can punch me in my face and I'll keep smiling, and it's not because I like pain, but it's because that it's one of the coolest jobs ever, and it's hard to be down on yourself about. If you're about money, then you're gonna make good money. Which ain't bad at all, actually, because you're prevailing wage, you're a WG or GS employee, but it's not, you're not going to be a billionaire off of it, you know, but you're going to be rich in love. You're going to be rich in loving yourself. You're going to be rich in being able to pass that energy on to so many people around you. And honestly, it always made me a better person, made me who I always, at my greatest versions, and I still work on it. But when I'm always I can feel when I'm on that tip, you know what I mean, that glow. And it's always when I'm doing work out there in the backcountry or something, you know. I don't know, anybody can do it, but you can do wildlife biology, you can do interpretive ranger stuff, you can do botany, wildlife botanist, you can do law enforcement. There's so many. You can be a wildland firefighter. Some parks have structural firefighters. You can do whatever you want. So you run into great people, you meet a lot of great people. I got friends all around the whole world now. And I had a buddy from Nepal that he's actually a Sherpa for Mount Everest. I used to take him out with me out in the backcountry in the Olympics and teach him how we do rock work and trail work out there. It's just all about learning, teaching, and different realms of people. And every day I met someone from a different country. You'll get the experience, you'll get the trainings on things that you never thought you'd learn, and you'll just get to be happy in life. That job makes me so happy, and I can't express how happy it always made me.
For me, why or how I got involved is, first of all, both of us are from a national park, a town right outside a national park, and that was pretty much like our big kid playground growing up. My mother, she's worked at this national park for about 10 years, or in the National Park Service. We're going through the tunnel. Anyway. Yeah, so my mom, she has worked at 3 different national parks before, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mom, but I don't like how yellow I am. That's okay. Before I joined the Navy, I was an emergency hire for Joshua Tree National Park, and that was only for 2 months, but it was great, and I will go back afterwards. That is my plan. Ziggy, do you have anything to add to that? How was your first national park trail? As you could probably tell, we made our way back home. It is actually 2 days later, and this is me relaxing in the hammock after work. I know for a fact we said national park way more than that. We're just parkies, and that's how you know. We were born and raised around national parks. Ting! National park. I didn't know that hike would get to me as much as it did, and that just told me that I need to work out more. I kind of want to go on a hike every weekend now. It's a great exercise. I can't tell if I'm blurry right now. Honestly, I could fall asleep right here. I do this often. This is how I get my white girl tan on this summer. It is pretty hot today. It is very humid. It's like in the 90 percentile, I guess. Honestly, guys, I realized that I need to drink more water, so that is what I have right here. Drink your water, ladies and gentle dudes. Zaya is on his way home, and now I am just waiting for him. He's probably going to want to go surfing or fishing, and I kind of want to go with him today. I want to hop in the water. We'll see if I really do it. I think I'm gonna make that TikTok feta and tomato pasta. It's pretty dang good if you ask me. I wonder how else you can eat it instead of just a pasta. Maybe like a dip? And then I think I'm gonna go on a run later when it starts to cool down. You know, when the mosquitoes are out and stuff. Guys, if I'm glistening, that's literally just my sweat. So, it is so hot. Of course I can handle the heat. I'm from the desert. But this is like humidity also. I'm not used to that. I know I've been here for 2 years, but oh my god. Drenching hot. Is that even a phrase? Drenching hot? Ah, the sound of airplanes and the highway. I love it. Uh-oh, the sun went away. It's probably gonna pour in like 2 seconds. And then become sunny again. And then thunderstorm. So in case you haven't already, make sure you go like and comment on this video. Go subscribe. And make sure you go smash that bell button so you can get notified every single time we share with you a little piece of our lives. We appreciate you guys, seriously. Keep supporting us. We love you. Bye.